Hello, everybody. We are back with two returning guests to talk about Feral. We've got Tony Fleecs and Trish Forstner. Welcome.
Yay!
Thank you so much for having us back. It's been forever.
I know, it's been way too long. I think we've seen you in person more times than in the virtual world since the last interview.
That's true.
That means that we should have a bit to talk about.
Yeah. So let's talk about Feral to start off with. And what is the elevator pitch of Feral?
I'll do it.
Yeah. Do you want to?
So Feral is Trish and Tone Rodriguez and Brad Simpson's return to adorable animal horror comics. It's a story about a group of indoor cats who get lost outdoors in the middle of the woods during a nightmarish rabies outbreak. So it's sort of like zombies, but for cats. Follow these three cats as they try and find their way home, find their way to safety through this unnatural nature, I guess.
Yeah. I read the first the description in the previous book, and I was like, we're getting our stray cats book that you said we weren't going to get.
They're not stray cats.
They're not stray cats. They kind of become strays.
They're astray, for sure.
Yes.
They're astray from home, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. But for the cat lovers, it's going to be sad.
That's not how we're trying to pitch this, Jeremy.
No.
But in I want to protect them way, you know?
Yeah, sure.
It's stressful. And
Just
it's
like in Stray Dogs,
It's
I
high
wanted
stakes,
to protect
100%.
Sorry, Caroline, go ahead.
No, it's just like, it's high stakes, 100%. Like, all of the action in it, and you're just like, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Yeah. Like
Tony definitely hit them page turns. Like, you're going to feel it.
I just kept scrolling, and I was like, wait, where's the rest of it?
Yeah. And the thank you, Tony, for the preview of what's to come in Feral, because now we have to wait longer to see what's going to actually happen, right?
And how dare
We're like
you.
on the edge of our seats now for a little bit. But I love that this is going to be ongoing and not just a mini-series. So I'm excited to see how long this adventure and where this adventure is going to take the cats.
Yeah, us too. I mean, we have a pretty good idea of where it's going, but it's nice to have the freedom to be able to sort of like go on little flights of fancy or
Side quests here or there.
ideas on the run. Yeah, we're working on one right now that is like an idea that came along as we were sort of working, like around Christmas time this year. We were just like, what if we did this? And then all of a sudden that's issue 6. Like, it just sort of, it's nice to be able to throw stuff in, where Stray Dogs was sort of like a finished complete thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stray Dogs was a nice, complete, very well structured piece when it came to the art. Like, when it came to me and my input in it, it was so done. It was like almost like I felt weird pitching anything for it. So like now it's like me and Tone, and then I guess Tony, like we're all kind of going back and forth, and like we need to figure out this angle. Well, what if we did this? And it's so cool to be able to have that kind of impact. I haven't had that before, and I think that's really neat. The process it feels deeper. I'm closer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love that, like...
Not that I wasn't close to Stray Dogs. Those were my children.
Oh, yeah. Like, literally, like, was one of them was your child.
I know.
I would say one thing that I love about your guys' team is that in a lot of the like Western comics, it's just the writer and the artist and the colorist, but you also have the writer, the background artist, the foreground and the character artist, and like, which feels a lot more like manga, where you have like the art assistants working on backgrounds. What led to you guys doing that? Well, I guess with Stray Dogs originally, and then continuing that team here in Feral.
Well, I mean, I think it's more to achieve the look. It reminds me more like animation production
Yeah.
rather than like comic book production. Because normally you have,
Yeah.
like you said, your writer, your artist, your colorist. We've kind of broken the artist job, down. Because in animation, you would have a background artist, you would have background painters, stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then you would have character artists and character painters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
I guess yeah, like the stills in the backgrounds of like the Disney films. It's just like here's this background that's not going anywhere, and all the characters are animated.
it's like a 16 field, like giant massive thing, or like 3 legal sheets of paper taped together, with with the little pegboard lines. I actually have a 16 field original animation cell hanging above my computer here.
Nice.
It's so cool to look at.
Which movie?
The Chipmunk Adventure. It's the one with the Chipettes
Aw.
underwater, and there's like all the little fish and stuff around them. I'd turn this, but you would have to see my whole
Yeah.
entire stupid ugly room.
That's okay.
Yeah, we on Stray Dogs we had Tone. I mean, everybody was doing almost the same job on Stray Dogs as they did on this, but sort of as we got further along in Stray Dogs, and Tone sort of adopted new technology. He started out sort of a Luddite, like he just only worked on paper, and Trish and I are both doing everything digitally. And so on Stray Dogs, Tone would send in his layouts, and it would have the full backgrounds in it basically, but they'd be drawn in like pencil or pen and ink or whatever, and so it wouldn't work to just put that in the digital file together. So on this one, by the time we came around to doing this, he had sort of figured out digital, and so we knew we were going to have much more intense backgrounds because it didn't just all take place inside one house.
Yeah.
So we just talked to him and sort of renegotiated and changed what his responsibilities were, and so now he's like the full co-artist. Like he just draws the backgrounds and does really amazing work, especially
Yeah.
how much we're making him. It's a lot of trees in this thing. It's a lot of rocks and leaves and
I
waterfall.
give him all the credit on planet Earth because issue 6 is a run for him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, all of it is his spin. And I hate, like, sometimes he'll draw this immaculate panel, looks freaking amazing, and then I've got to whale an entire character profile right over most of it. Like, we've done a good job, like, not doing that a lot, but
Yeah.
sometimes it happens, and it's just like, aw, I'm so
That's on
sorry.
him too. I always put the cats or the figures in the thumbnails, and he just goes crazy anyway. Like I'll
He's
show
like,
him how the cats are going to be. He doesn't care.
Tone's always out here making me look bad anyway. I'm like, not on purpose. It's not on purpose. I know. He just always does so much. He like does a lot, and I love
mean, we
him
were-
so much.
We were talking about this beforehand when I had this commission that he did at Fan Expo New Orleans, and I did not expect colors to show up in it, and he goes the extra mile in all of his work.
He's such a
Yeah.
beautiful sweetheart.
Yeah,
Shout
great.
out to Tone for all of his work.
Well, Tone, he's been coming out here a lot and working actually in the studio with me. So we'll actually spend a couple weeks sometimes just putting together the page, like one-on-one, putting together pages, and then send them off to Trish. And so it's been fun. It's been fun because we used to work together in a studio years ago, and then he moved out to Louisiana, and now he'll pop over every couple of months and sit here and just draw in person. So it's nice.
It's cool to be able to work in person with your collaborators.
Yeah, we gotta get Trish out here.
Yeah.
Come out and
Come join the party.
Quad deep.
you can stay on the TV.
When the rain finally leaves you guys, when you guys get
It's
all the
supposed
rain
to
you're going to
rain
get for the
now.
next 3 years.
I don't know what the TV's telling everyone. My mom just called me up in a panic and she was like, "Are you okay? Is there mud?" And I was just like,
Oh,
"It's not even-"
I
literally,
think it's kinda like how it
every
is where
video
I
on
live,
TikTok
like,
is
real-
just like,
It's real sectional. Like some
Fine.
people are getting it, some people aren't.
oh,
dry.
every video on TikTok's like, LA is, they're drowning, oh my god.
The whole city has fallen into the ocean.
Yeah.
I did get stranded in the Las Vegas airport on Monday. I was flying back from a convention and we couldn't land because the rains were too heavy, so I had to sleep in the airport in Las Vegas. But otherwise, there's no leaks in my house and there's no flooding or
Well, that's
Good.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Good. That's always good.
Let's talk about this book, though. What do you guys think? You
Yeah.
read all the first 3 issues, right?
Yeah.
I am hooked. I need more. Like I said, how dare you give us so much and now make us wait for so long?
We gave you so
So
much,
good.
you took it away.
Like, I need
This,
more.
like I said, this book's gonna make you feel things. If you love cats, don't be in a dark place. I'd say.
As I'm literally about to adopt a kitten this weekend, I'm reading a
Like-
book about
Aw,
horrors of kitten.
babies.
But I
Well,
think it's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing that you are able to make us feel so much when we've just met these characters.
So many heart palpitations in such
Like
short
that,
amount of time.
that takes some talent to be able to put that emotion into the story.
Like, warning, don't read standing up.
That was the. I mean, so much of it is Trish. So much of it is just designing these characters to look so sweet and
Yeah.
and they look like cats that you know. They look like cats that you have like pet before. You know, she just did a really good job.
I also
and then-
firmly appreciate the like physical difference between the outdoor cats and the indoor cats.
yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
I learned how to draw cats long before I learned how to draw dogs. So this is just taking me back to like my early days. Just, doodling little kitty cat heads on my,
Yeah.
on my work while I was at school or whatever. I used to love drawing little kitty cats because they were so easy. Plus my sisters and my family, I grew up with cats. I had cats my whole life. My little Abby and my little KP, I loved them so much. R.I.P. But they lived into their 20s. They were, great cats.
Ooh.
That's
We
wow.
found
So
one of
long.
them in a tree, and we found one of them in a trash can. So, cats are resilient. That's the whole thing
Oh,
about
yeah.
this book. Like, dogs are sweet and innocent, and they don't, like Stray Dogs was so in your heart because dogs are sweet and innocent, and, it's the owner who was, evil, and we didn't really care about him. Well, like, I like to think that these cats know things. Like, these cats remember
Yeah.
things. These cats have been through
they're
things.
smart.
So, you can treat them a little bit, like, they can handle more. They can handle more of the brutality of a rampant rabies virus and,
Mm-hmm.
in a huge world versus a bottle episode,
Yeah.
So,
I feel like some cats, they've got the one brain cell, and they're the ones that are gonna fall victim. Like my cat, he would not. He's got the one brain cell. He's an orange cat, and
I love orange cats. Chaos.
I love him, but he would not survive a rabies outbreak that's just infesting everything.
We
He
tried to
play
do.
with
I
the
mean,
rabies.
the 3 main cats that we have, we tried to give them each one of them sort of like a different level of how much of a cat.
Yeah.
Lord, who's the youngest, is sort of like a full-on goofball, and
He's the one brain cell cat. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
He-
something's the matter with him.
Energy.
He needs the constant reining in, like focus.
Needs a leash.
Yeah.
For sure. But and all of that sort of, it's all leading places too. Like the way that they all fit together is sort of explained as we learn more about these cats and where they came from. And it's really fun to sort of have a lot of room to grow these guys out. And Trish is mad at me for half of the stuff that I write in this thing because if it's not putting them in danger, it's like horrible decisions that they make or.
One of the issues, I think it was after issue 5 script, I almost threw my phone across the living room. I was like, ugh.
You're gonna make me draw
Absolutely
what?
not.
Like the Hammer of Thor, I almost sent that phone to his house. Just like, but it's so good. Like, if it can make me act that way, I can't imagine what it's going to do to people, like, who read it.
Yeah.
Like the actual
Well,
reader when they see it. Because I'm just
when
like, I'm reading words. I'm not reading the pictures at the same time, And
Yeah.
it's just, it's such a good story. And especially if people can hang on, and learn more about the characters as it goes.
So basically, he hurts you, so you hurt us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that
My
hurt
feelings
people.
are hurt. I got to take it out on somebody.
I also love Lord's full name.
Oh, Lord Fluffy Britches.
Lord Fluffy Britches.
You ever see like the list of like cat names from shelters, and it's just like Mittens, you know, Cheese Lord. What the hell? Like who names these cats?
we were actually my girlfriend's actually thinking we might get another cat, and she's looking through a shelter and like all the names. It's wild. We were laughing about like how these cats were named. It's entertainment.
I feel like
My
a lot of
sister
people just
has-
let their kids pick.
My sister feeds like a feral colony, and so of course, again, we're very much cat-loving people here. People do not read this book and think I hate cats. Do not read
No.
this book and think I hate cats. I love cats. Anyway, she names these cats all kinds of names. Like I'll hear her on the phone while she's feeding these cats, and she's yelling at one like, "Madam, get down here!" You know, "Midnight, get over here, eat your food." You know. But those
Are
these
any
have
of
a
these
normal name. But
any of these
Yeah.
random names that you're hearing her say gonna end up as cats in the book?
oh, I don't know. I'm not the writer.
You throw some names at him as you're going along, because I mean, it like you said, it sounds like a bit of a zombie story in ways, and we know in zombie stories there's groups form, people die from the group, you get a new group that comes together, and you lose some people here and there. So there's always those characters that pop up, and you don't see them very long.
Yeah, Trish, you're welcome to submit names whenever you want. I keep a list. I've got a list of cat names.
Running
so
list of cat
love
names.
some-
I've got people sending me their cats as references. You know,
If you kill off Doyle,
I just laugh
he's
because I'm like,
sad.
we should have a
but
contest or something
honor.
where someone submits their cat to be brutally murdered in one of the issues.
Yeah. Like,
Or
yeah,
something like that.
send us your cat pictures.
We'll kill them on
And
a
your
page.
cat may be killed in the
I
comic.
saw that there was a Kickstarter, and it was a reward that they could submit pictures of their like animals or whatever, and that animal would be it was a like a anthropomorphic story, so they were animals. You could submit a picture of your animal, and they would be brutally murdered in the issue. And I'm like, that's kind of rough, but you know,
Yeah.
it depends on
I mean,
how cool you are.
I
It depends on
I
how
see
cool you
more.
are.
I see
Or
more
mentally
common
ill.
that you can have yourself killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
like
yourself,
Kickstarter
yeah.
comics.
Just
Yeah,
like
I don't-
you know.
But
I
you-
would not write my pets into the book just because everybody would know that they would live until the very end. You know, like, that one's going to survive because that is Tony's dog.
Like,
He's gonna
It was
be
a
okay.
real near one for Roxy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Trisha's
she
dog
did-
got shot in the
I
butt.
had to draw get shot in the butt. We did pretty good with that though. I handled it well.
You did.
Yeah. No, it all came out so good, and we never got to. I don't think we ever talked after that interview on here about Stray Dogs, and we both loved it. We both ended up doing a full volume review at some point. It's
think
somewhere
so, yeah.
sitting on the channel.
on the internet.
I'm
Actually,
pretty sure I
one-
watched it. I may have commented on it.
You probably did.
And we're always
I-
counting ourselves.
The review I did for issue 1 of Stray Dogs is like one of the most watched videos on the channel.
Cool.
That's right.
Like,
Watch them
I don't
go.
know.
Great series.
It's amazing. There's lots of people love to see and like animated type characters and gruesome things happening.
Bizarre. We'll take
It's a
it.
good juxtaposition.
or like super mentally deep things. Like, I mean, the difference between Stray Dogs and Feral is that the action in Feral is much more in your face, much less up here. Much less you
Yeah.
tearing yourself apart. Like, what the hell did? Oh God, and then
It's
the more you
constant,
think about,
immediate, present terror.
Yeah.
Always.
exactly, like a zombie thriller. I mean, it's really kind of brilliant.
I know you're.
You're brilliant, Tony. Listen to me.
Well, I mean, in Stray Dogs too, we sort of teased it out a little bit where we didn't necessarily, you didn't know if Sophie was right away. The other dogs didn't quite believe her, and there was like as it was coming out, people would be like, "Is it going to turn out that she's wrong?" And so in this book, as soon as the book starts, you're just like, "Oh shit, this is we're in it."
Not good for them.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it now.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, it really
Yeah,
comes
very
out of the
quickly.
gate running.
There's that like very slight mystery for the first couple pages of like why are they in this vehicle? Why were they taken from their home?
Yeah.
And then you kind of figure it out pretty quick, but it does have that mystery in that first couple pages, which
Yeah.
I did enjoy. It wasn't completely like into the thick of it. There's a little bit of build up.
And we like having there's this whole world that's going on outside of these cats, and all of this is happening, it's not like a worldwide pandemic to start with, but we like the having the option to take it that far if we want to. It's just like we only see what the cats see, and so it's nice to have the option of like getting the cats somewhere where they can see just what's happening. Just what's going on everywhere else. I don't think anybody is super interested in reading like a pandemic book right now, but a zombie book I feel like is always sort of in vogue. So
Yeah.
being able to tell this story as a zombie story with cats is really exciting. I love zombies. I love George Romero movies, and I love The Walking Dead, and
Give me zombies that like shamble along. Don't run after me at the speed of light. I'm going
No,
out.
man, I'm here
That's
for it.
it.
I'm here for
I'm
the
out.
multiple layers of zombism.
Sure.
I don't want anyone
like-
climbing on a ceiling at me. I don't
Like
want nobody
Zombieland, I feel like did it right. Like you got the crawlers, you got the walkers, you got the runners.
Yeah.
They're the ones that like, I'll take those guys that shamble along that can barely keep up.
That's all you want.
That's all I want.
And there's not enough threat.
No, these ones are all animals and they run fast. Like what? That's horrifying.
Exactly.
No shamblers here.
No, that's horrifying, and that's what makes it even scarier. Like, you're just out in the world minding your business, and anything could turn and just be like,
Yeah,
dinner,
man. It's
and
that
just-
moment of like,
Yeah.
whoop,
yeah,
clocked, dead.
It's
immediately.
harder to tell too.
I'm going out. That's it.
Mhm.
Zombies
Yeah.
animals
Carry a
start coming at
baseball
me.
bat with
Out.
nails and barbed wire in it.
Out.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
go on my own terms. Thank you.
we're really
I've had a
excited
good run.
for you guys and for everybody else to see where it's going. We're like as happy as we were. I mean, happy with ourselves, but we really liked the way Stray Dogs turned out, and what took so long for us to get this thing going was some of it was like getting our schedules lined up, but B, it was just making sure that we had something else that felt similarly exciting and sort of had the like cliffhangers that we wanted and the emotion and all that stuff. So it took us a little while to sort of cook up, a follow up that felt like it would matter, felt like it would live up to what we did last time.
Do you have an
sophomore
estimated,
slump
like,
where we're just hitting home runs?
Hope
do you
so.
know how many
What'd you say,
issues you're
Sharon?
trying to do total, give or take? Not like, you don't have to tell us if you don't know, but like, do you have an intended, where
I
you
want
think you
to at
would
least do
end up in
50
mind?
is where I'm at right now. We're working on issue 6 and issue 1 doesn't come out until March 27th. So
5-issue arcs?
yeah.
Okay.
So the first arc's all drawn, and Trish and Tone are drawing issue 6 right now.
Nice.
And Brad's about to start coloring issue 5. So
I
it's
can't
all,
wait for people to read issue 6. That's going to be wild.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, issue
Oh.
6 we're doing a POV issue that's told all from a cat's POV. So it's like those TikTok
Like
videos.
that.
Almost
Like,
like
didn't
he's got a little GoPro around his neck.
did they do a
That's gonna be
Nightwing like that
dramatic.
recently? Was it Nightwing that they did that?
With the dog, or just?
Well, no, it was like Nightwing's POV or something.
I think they may have done that. Yeah,
I was trying to remember. Like, I know a comic did it.
you can't stay in front of Tom Taylor. He's always innovating.
Yeah.
He's impossible to keep up with.
Oh yeah, but like that. Yeah, that's different. Like a superhero flying around the city doing his thing versus the cat running
Yeah.
away from danger. How do you
Just out there being a cat.
Ankle level versus adult human.
how do you draw the fact that it's being chased? That I'm sure that's a Trish challenge. I like that. With Stray Dogs, we had so many horror movie homage variants happening. I know we're getting some of those again with Feral, but a bit of a more zombie focus on them. Any favorites that you
We
on there?
it's slightly more zombie focused. On the first issue, we decided to do all three of the Romero classics, just to sort of really hammer down like this is what this is. This is a zombie book with plots. In the same way that we did Silence of the Lambs with. Yeah, we're doing the Romero movies for the first issue, and then issue 2 is we have a Nightmare on Elm Street cover finally.
Yeah, but like so badass because everybody harassed us for so long on Stray Dogs that we didn't do one. I think that might have been that and Jaws. Like we were just like, no, we're just not.
Yeah.
Jaws
We're
wouldn't
gonna
make
stand on
sense.
business here, not Jaws.
Yeah.
And so then the claw over the sleeping or the character in the bed looks so cool. Came out so good. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the different homages that you guys are like. Some movies I'm not even familiar with because I'm not a big horror movie fan.
Well, that's fun too because we can I think of it as like being able to introduce people to stuff. Like there's some that are like iconic posters that you're just like, well, that's obviously The Exorcist or whatever. Say that again.
I Am Legend. I'm just like, do it.
That's not on the list, but let me look it up.
Tony's
Let me
like
see.
making notes.
The Will Smith
I feel
one.
like
Yes.
Yeah, the Will Smith one.
yeah.
That makes sense though.
First of all, how dare you? And second of all, how dare you?
But also, I hated that movie because the poor dog. Like,
I mean,
they
yes,
lost me
but
with the
there's
dog.
also like the moment.
But it was freaking terrifying. Like I did watch that
was
movie,
so
even though I'm not like a big horror movie person. I was a big Will Smith.
I don't
Smith
do horror movies, but
person.
I live for zombie movies.
Yeah, but those
Leave it.
guys were like the terrifying kind.
Yes, I love those. I still think Zombieland got it right though.
Love a zombie.
Agree. Yeah. I'm gonna put Iron Maiden on the list, Caroline. You win. Congrats.
You heard it here first.
My question is there a Walking Dead comic homage in the?
We did 2 Walking Dead comic homages for Stray Dogs when we went crazy on Dog Days.
Okay.
Skybound did 2 Walking Dead covers. We haven't done one for this one yet, but one assumes we'll get there. It's fucking hard to
You could
draw.
do
So,
face.
Fair.
The guy with the bat, you could do like his cover.
Negan.
Negan.
Yeah.
My jam was like all those covers where it was just like the headshot, where half of it was like normal
yeah.
and then half was like a zombie.
Could definitely get that with the cat looking normal and feral.
And feral,
Babies on the
normal and
rabbit.
feral.
Yeah. Well, I like I said, I'm really excited for this to release so everyone can read this. Cause
We are too.
It's so good.
I
Thank
definitely need like people to read it because I just keep wanting to just talk to everyone about it, and I'm like, crap, it's not out yet.
I'm gonna be
It's been a
showing up
really
at
long-
cons with blanks for y'all.
We'll have blanks too. It's
Yeah.
been a really long time since we've been in this position because Stray Dogs came out in 2021, but there was that time we were making it like all through late 19, all through 2020 basically, and that whole time like we knew about the thing and we were the only ones who could talk about it to each other, and it was nice when the book finally came out and it was just like, oh, there's other people we can talk about this with.
Finally.
Speaking of
we're having
things
fun.
we may not be
Yeah.
able to talk about,
And then like everybody else
Movie.
gets something else out of it, like like oh, I hadn't thought about it like that, I'm thinking about it one whole way, and then somebody in an interview asks me about a character dynamic, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about like their interaction that way. But yeah, it could come off that way. I love it when people pull things out of there that either wasn't intended or or was deeper than I was thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, I love the comics medium and just any media in general is that people can feel a certain connection to the characters in these stories that may not have even been thought of just because of their own life experiences. So might get that connection created that you aren't even considering.
Caroline, your mic is very quiet. I feel like we keep interrupting you. Do you have any questions? Can
No,
you
no,
just
I
give
was
us?
You are a
gonna
little
say.
quiet.
Speaking of things that you may not be able to talk about, I know there was that movie deal that happened.
Oh,
potentially
Stray Dogs.
forever ago.
Yeah, things are happening with that right now. It is like the original deal was with Paramount, and that was like a 16-month option. So they still have it right now, but it's in what's called turnaround, which means
Okay.
the people who bought Stray Dogs no longer work at Paramount, and usually when that happens, they sort of like clear the slate and start over because nobody wants to take a chance on somebody else's decision. Because then if it doesn't do well, then they get the same sort of. It
It's
all
still their
lands on their
fault.
plate
It's
too.
somebody else's.
Okay.
So yeah, it's still at Paramount right now, but it's in what's called turnaround, which means somebody else has to buy it from us and take it away from them, take it somewhere else. And we're talking to people about that right now. So there's
Okay.
things are happening. Things are happening with that, and with Feral, and with Uncanny Valley and Local Man, and they're all just sort of moving around.
So, speaking of Uncanny Valley, that is in the previews catalog right now.
Yeah.
If you want to give us the little rundown on what Uncanny Valley is.
Yeah, sure. It's a Boom Studios. It's me writing and art by Dave Wachter, who's a brilliant artist who I've known for the whole time I've been in comics. Basically, we worked together very early on in both of our careers, and then we sort of split apart and each went our own ways. And I went and drew ponies for a bunch of years and made Stray Dogs and all this other stuff. And he went and drew Ninja Turtles for a long time and Godzilla, and currently he's working on Punisher. And I sold this pitch to Boom. That's a story that I've had cooking for like a decade, where it's about a boy who is trying to find his place in the world. He has a single mom, and they're new to town, and he doesn't feel like he fits in anywhere ever. He just sort of always feels like he's sort of disconnected, and he's trying to figure out like who he is and how he fits into the world. And sort of everybody feels that way sometimes, but this kid Oliver finds out that he actually feels that way because he is not part of this world. He finds out that he's like part cartoon, and so he feels different because he is different. And then he goes on like this cartoon adventure. His grandpa shows up, and his grandpa's a cartoon character, and they go on an adventure together. I was talking to somebody today that said it was sort of like Roger Rabbit meets Little Miss Sunshine, which it sort of is. It's like that, but like plus a bunch of adventure and action and stuff like that. So it's really beautifully drawn. Dave is doing like this fully painted thing on the realistic people, and then on the cartoon characters, he's doing like we do in Stray Dogs, where it's just flat lines and flat colors, and so they look like they sit right on top of the images like animation cells. So it's
I love that.
It's people who read Stray Dogs and sort of saw that unique style that we did in there will see a continuum here, because it's more of my like working out how I feel about cartoons, I guess, which seems like a very important motif that I have a lot to say about in my life for some reason.
So some cartoons you want to destroy and have violence and stuff happen to, and some are just kind of figuring out their place in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that connects them is that neither of them are the cartoons that I have done for years and years, where it's just straight cartoons like My Little Pony or Rick and Morty or whatever. I'm just drawing the cartoons that are cartoons, and in both of these and in Feral, I'm sort of trying to do something that I haven't seen cartoons do before. So.
Yeah.
Or in a long time. I mean, only I think we're turning the darkness level up to 11 on Feral.
Yeah.
So yeah, that comes out not even a month after Feral, which was not planned. It just sort of worked out that way. So it's this. I'm having this summer. Yeah, I'm having this spring summer that is just cuckoo.
Crazy
like,
busy.
It's just insane because I'm also still doing Local Man, and I'm writing Army of Darkness still. So I have every month. It's like something comes out every week. which is not something I foresaw happening, but it's just sort of like I guess it makes sense because I've been working pretty constantly for the past year or so. It's all sort
Vance
of like.
doesn't know what sleep is.
Well, I just
we know.
I bought a house with when Stray Dogs hit, and then I was like, well, now I have to pay for it. So I have every time somebody offers me something, I just say yes to it, and that brings us here.
Oh, yeah. So it's the season of Tony.
Really,
all books.
Army of Darkness is going to wrap up at 12, and Uncanny Valleys is supposed to be a 12-issue thing too. It says 6 in the solicits, but we're hoping to sell well enough that we get extended and go all the way out. So if you're listening to this at home, go pre-order Uncanny Valley so we can tell the whole story, because it has a really cool big ending that we want to get to. But those are both limited, and the Feral's ongoing. So there'll be a point where I don't have a book coming out every week, and I'll just be working on Feral, presumably, assuming I don't.
Oh God, you'll be unbearable then.
That's true. You'll really be up your ass.
Hey, I thought of this other idea for the issue because I don't have to write anything else right now.
This issue is going to be 64 pages long. I hope you're ready.
Just because
I
we
want
can.
notes.
I
We
have
put
so
all
many
these
notes.
other ideas in, and it's just going to be a long issue.
Yeah.
It's going to be a triple issue. We're going to have to go to the therapist after this. Let's go.
Trish, I know besides Feral, you've been working on some other covers and things that are coming up soon.
Yeah, lots of Disney stuff. Dynamite Disney books.
Yeah.
I still have some My Little Pony covers, I think, that are floating around out there. But mostly it's been the Dynamite Disney stuff. Darkwing Duck, Negaduck, Justice Ducks, all the ducks.
All the ducks.
Yeah,
Oh,
all
you
the ducks.
What the duck?
Lilo and Stitch. And Hades just wrapped up, I think. Issue 5 just came out on that one. So it used to be every other week I'd get, stuff from Dynamite at my door. Now they come
Nice.
like once a month. It's kind of respectable, once a month. But yeah, it was cool to get to do those two, to get to play in a sandbox that I had always wanted to play in,
Yeah.
But it had an ending, and each time they come out with one of these, I try and shoehorn my way in there, but sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Feral boxes are about to start showing up. The files are due on Monday, so that means it'll go to print in a month from now, and then it'll show up. We usually get it a week before it comes out in stores, so
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
gosh.
didn't
too long.
see what the FOC date is. Do you know what it is?
I
It's
do
still
know
coming
it
out.
is. It's the 4th, February or March 4th.
March 4th. Okay, so
Let me double check. But I think
about
that's-
like time of recording, it'll be about 3-4 weeks from now, but hopefully by the time of publishing this video, about 2-3 weeks. Giving myself a window there to get this edited. But yeah, plenty of time to let everyone know. Pre-order Feral. There's, is it just, what kind of ratios are on it?
Oh, so we did a 1 in 10. On the first issue, we did a 1 in 10, a 1 in 25, and a 1 in 100, I think.
Okay.
I don't think there's a 50. But what we do every issue is there's a ratio variant that's a no trade dress variant.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do also, Trish calls them the Crazy Cat Lady
I
covers.
call them the cat lady covers. Yep.
Not
It's,
crazy, just cat ladies.
just
Yeah.
cat ladies.
Respectable.
Yeah,
so we
respectable,
have-
uncrazy cat ladies.
We have some of our cat lady friends do covers. So the first
Okay.
issue is a Sweeney Boo cover, and then
Ooh.
Sophie Campbell does issue 2, and Jenny Frizen's doing issue 3. And
You got
four is
some
gonna
Special
be-
request
real
for Jen
good,
Bartel.
issue 4 is going to be Amy Meberson, who's one of our pony friends. Agnes Grabowska's doing one. So we're bringing in like all of our friends and letting them draw cats for us.
The cat
Talented.
lady squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talented group of cat ladies.
Yeah. Not crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
No.
Well, I mean, it depends. Certain
Crazy
circles,
for
I'm sure we could
cats.
all be considered
Crazy
crazy.
about
but-
cats. Sure.
Crazy about cats. Yeah, there we go.
They're
Yeah, no,
crazy
we've had
for cat lady.
Sweeney on here before, and I'm
Yeah, if you've seen the
pretty sure we
Sweeney
talked
cover
about
too,
cats.
that Sweeney cover is super eerie looking. I love it. It's so cool.
I haven't actually seen it. I need
Oh.
to.
Are they of
Like-
specific characters in the book?
We gave
I
them the
know.
characters as reference, but like Sweeney's doesn't reference like specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
It's just like a
Sophie,
scary
she
looking
drew,
cat.
Sophie Campbell drew Elsie from the book. And then
Sweeney's the
That
one.
one's really cool looking too. Because it took me a second too. The first time I saw it, I was like, what the heck's going on here? Oh. Yay! It took me a second, but it was really cool like once I got it.
and then for issue, I think there is a 1 in 50 because on issue 1, the B cover is the Dawn of the Dead movie poster, and then the incentives are the Day of the Dead poster, and then the 1 in 100 is the Night of the Living Dead poster. So to get all 3 of them, you got to really be a maniac.
I want the 1 in 25 because that is Sweeney's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For
you
number
saw
one.
it though is the red and black with cats walking in the shadows. It's so cool.
for people to see them.
Same.
Yeah, the covers, a lot of the covers that we've seen and a lot of the covers that we've done, I think people are going to really enjoy anyway.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So I know we're gonna keep this a little bit shorter. So let's have everyone tell you, or have you tell everyone, how about that, where they can find you and follow along with, release information for Feral and
Where do
everything
you
else that
exist
you're working
on the
on.
internet?
Where can you find us on the internet? Trish, go. Tell
Oh,
them.
you can find me on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, everything by my name, at Trish Forstner. I don't post videos. I just repost the things that Tony makes because he's the TikToker among us. So yeah, anywhere you can find me by my name at Trish Forstner, and yeah, the unbox is open, all that good stuff.
So you can find me at Tony Fleecs, Fleecs, anywhere. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, I'm on TikTok. I TikTok more than I do the other ones probably, because I feel like it's a fertile place for creatives. Like there's not a ton of comic people there yet, so I'm always on there. Local Man's still coming out. The Local Man Bad Girl special comes out I think the week before or 2 weeks before Feral. And then we're starting a new arc of that with issue 10 in April or May, I think. And that's the book I do with Tim Seeley that's about a former Image Comics superhero who's now like a down on his luck, like quasi-detective in the small Midwestern town. And then Feral FOC's on March 4th, and that's Trish and my follow-up to Stray Dogs that we've been talking about for the last hour. And then on March 17th, Uncanny Valley FOCs, and that's me and Dave Wachter's cartoon coming-of-age book at Boom Studios. People are going to like that one a lot. The art in that is really beautiful, just as beautiful as Tone and Trish's stuff in Feral. I feel really excited and blessed to have 2 just shockingly good-looking books coming out. It's
I think
even
we're going to
aside from-
compliment me.
Even aside from the ones that I draw myself, like that notwithstanding, I just have these other 2 books that are like really, really fucking good looking. So I'm psyched about that.
It's
And then
it's so good.
similarly, Army of Darkness, which is not creator owned, but is a book that's really close to my heart because I love horror movies and I love the Evil Dead movies. That's I think issue 5's about to come out, and that's with me and Justin Greenwood. He's on the first 6 issues, and then on the final 6 issues is going to be art by Pop Man, who's an artist that I've been a fan of since the 90s. He drew Union and what he drew at Extreme Studios. But he was an Image guy back in those days, and he drew a bunch of He-Man stuff since then, a bunch of DC stuff, and he's doing the second arc of Army of Darkness right now.
Okay.
So that's what I got
Awesome.
going on.
What doesn't Tony have coming up?
A nap.
That's
I know.
No, and it's always good to hear when comic creators have so much coming up, because that's good news for you, for income as a creator to be able to keep doing
Well,
what you love to do.
I'm really excited too that it's so much of it's creator owned because that's,
Yeah.
for years I worked on licensed properties and other people's stuff, and it feels really nice to be, investing in myself and Trish and I's stuff and
Yeah.
Dave and my stuff and all the, Tim Seeley and my stuff, like just to have all these sort of like different books out there that are completely different, but to have ownership in all of them, and it feels, it not only feels nice, it is nice. It's good. Like I'm putting something away for my future.
I just want to say, like, before we wrap up here, both Caroline and I were like in a comics reading slump and like not at all getting into it. And then like I hadn't been on Instagram in a while, and I open up Instagram and I see the trailer that you posted for Feral, and I was like, I'm excited about comics again. So
Oh man, terrific!
that got me like, all right, I want to read these, and I'm like, I want to read all the comics I've got sitting in my bin, but more I want to read this series that's not even out yet. And then that was like when we started talking and like wanted to set this up. So
Well, it makes me really happy. We love that a lot of people sort of find their way to comics through Stray Dogs, and hopefully
Yeah.
that'll continue with Feral. It's one of the most encouraging things about it is when people are just like, I gave this to my best friend or my mom or my girlfriend
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, I feel like a lot of people have sort of found their way to comics through Stray Dogs, and that's one of our favorite parts
Yeah.
of it.
and like I felt like I was like finding my way out of comics there for a while, and so Feral is
Well, we're sorry we left for so long. We shouldn't have done that.
yeah. Don't leave us again, okay?
Slackers.
And now you're ongoing, so there we go.
That's
That's
going to stick around for at least the next 5 years or so, however long this takes.
perfect. Love it. Well, thank you both again for coming on and talking for our first show back with interviews.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Team is back. Poor Caroline, she's on mute because her mic won't work. She's
Okay.
gonna be like, "Love you, bye."